Senator Jerry Moran in Salina today touring Great Plains Manufacturing, giving him the opportunity to discuss important matters happening in the state, including strikes and layoffs in the aviation industry.
12 News reporter Gabriela Hernandez shares more.
Senator Jerry Moran in Salina touring Kubota Great Plains, a leader in the manufacturing of agricultural and construction equipment.
This is an important component to the Kansas economy, certainly matters to Salina and the region. And this was a meeting that gave me the opportunity to see what's happened in the 2 years since the opening, and it gave me an opportunity to visit with not only Kubota Great Plains officials, leadership of the company, but also leaders in the community.
The experience leaving him with something to bring back to Washington.
Overall, this is an opportunity that reminded me the importance of getting a farm bill done. Agricultural policy in Washington, D.C., farm bill, trade, etc. are things that we need to really focus on.
While a farm bill is top of mind, pressing issues in the aviation industry bring uncertainty.
For Kansans and Americans, Boeing needs to be strong and solid for our own national security and our country's economy. The challenges still remain in what's going to happen with Boeing and the Spirit merger. And aviation and aerospace is valuable to our state. It's hugely important, just as agriculture is.
Moran also emphasizing a focus on drones over military bases.
We've begun the process of drafting legislation to make sure that the folks at a military installation in the United States has the ability to shoot down something that's flying over military airspace, restricted airspace.
He says bottom line, we should never have to worry about what the outcome is going to be. In Salina, Gabriela Hernandez, 12 News.